They don't fear the brute. They don't fear the loudmouth. They don't fear the alpha male who boasts and flexes his status. No, the man most feared by women, the one who unnerves them without raising his voice, is the emotionally intelligent man. And Niccolò Machiavelli, master of dark strategy and human manipulation, understood why. This is not a man who plays the game emotionally. He studies it, masters it, and then rewrites it. He doesn't fall for tears. He analyzes them. He doesn't react to guilt. He dissects it. He is calm in chaos, stable in seduction, and indifferent to drama. And that indifference? It's terrifying. This is the Machiavellian breakdown of why emotionally intelligent men are the most unpredictable, unshakable, and, ultimately, uncontrollable. And in a world where many are trained to manipulate through emotions, he is the one player they can't control. 1. The machinery of emotion. Machiavelli taught us one eternal truth. People are tools, and power lies in knowing how to use them. He didn't mean this cruelly. He meant it clearly. Emotion is one of the greatest tools in human interaction. The emotionally ignorant man is a pawn, but the emotionally intelligent man is a strategist. Women who rely on emotional cues to test, shape, or influence men immediately recognize something different about him. He doesn't respond like the others. He doesn't flinch. He observes. And when you observe emotion instead of reacting to it, you gain the upper hand. This makes him dangerous, not in a violent way, but in a psychological one. He doesn't drown in your emotions. He studies the current, and he sails above it. 2. Emotional independence is power. The average man seeks emotional validation from women. The emotionally intelligent man seeks emotional clarity from within. He is not driven by approval. He's driven by truth. This is terrifying to someone who's used to controlling others through attention, affection, or emotional withdrawal. When those tactics fail, when the tears don't work, when the cold shoulder is met with silence, it creates panic. Machiavelli would say, "He who controls desire controls people." The emotionally intelligent man controls his desires. Therefore, he cannot be controlled. And the one who cannot be controlled is always feared. 3. The dark art of mirroring. One of Machiavelli's most Machiavellian tactics is mirroring, reflecting the energy of the enemy to disarm them. Emotionally intelligent men do this naturally. When a woman raises her emotional temperature, he doesn't argue. He mirrors calm. When she gets cold and distant, he becomes colder. This doesn't just defuse manipulation, it reverses it. The woman begins to feel the discomfort she tried to create. This isn't cruelty, it's strategy. And it leaves the other person with a terrifying realization. He sees me. He's not falling for the performance. He's decoding it. 4. Unpredictability equals dominance. Predictability is weakness. Machiavelli knew that the predictable man is easily manipulated. The emotionally intelligent man is the opposite. He doesn't chase when expected. He doesn't react when provoked. He doesn't explain when accused. This unpredictability is not indifference, it's control. He controls his own emotional output, and in doing so, he gains control over the entire dynamic. For someone who thrives on emotional cause and effect, this man is chaos. Calm, quiet chaos. 5. The weaponization of stillness. Machiavelli said, "It is better to be feared than loved if you cannot be both." The emotionally intelligent man may be loved, but he is always feared by those who depend on emotional manipulation. Why? Because of his stillness. Stillness is terrifying. It suggests depth. It suggests strategy. It makes people question what you're thinking, what you know, and how you'll respond. It creates tension in the mind of the manipulator. When she throws a tantrum, he remains still. When she delivers silence, he matches it. When she provokes, he smiles. This stillness breaks the rhythm of emotional control. It rewrites the rules. 6. He doesn't seek validation. Machiavelli observed that the masses are moved by appearances. The emotionally intelligent man sees through appearance. He doesn't crave social proof. He doesn't need to be seen as nice or agreeable. He would rather be respected than liked. And this, too, is terrifying, because you can gild a man who wants to be liked. You can pressure him with social norms. But this man, he doesn't fear judgment. He studies it. He questions it. And then he transcends it. He is free. And freedom is always a threat to control. 7. Emotional intelligence is strategic detachment. Machiavelli advised leaders to appear compassionate while remaining detached. Emotionally intelligent men do this naturally. They can empathize, but not get entangled. This means he can love without losing himself. He can commit without being consumed. He can give without being owned. He creates a boundary of energy around himself. One that says, I feel you, but I don't become you. This boundary is like a mirror that reflects manipulation back to its source. And when emotional tactics fail, fear takes their place. 8. He chooses clarity over comfort. The emotionally intelligent man values truth, even if it hurts. He won't say what you want to hear. He'll say what you need to hear. This is Machiavellian in nature, not cruel, but effective. He knows comfort creates stagnation. Clarity creates growth. And while others live in emotional fog, he cuts through it with questions, reflection, and uncomfortable truths. This makes him rare. And what is rare? Feared. 9. He cannot be shamed. Machiavelli knew that guilt was a tool of control. The emotionally intelligent man removes that tool from the hands of others. He doesn't operate from shame. He owns his past. He accepts his flaws. He faces his shadow. You cannot shame a man who has already faced himself, and that makes him untouchable. 10. He makes you reflect on yourself. This is the final, most dangerous truth. When you cannot control a man emotionally, you are forced to confront your own emotional patterns. He becomes a mirror, not the flattering kind, but the true kind. And this is why women who are not ready for growth, depth, or accountability fear him. Because he awakens a level of self-awareness they're not prepared for. And, as Machiavelli knew, men and women sooner forget the death of their father than the loss of their inheritance. In this case, the inheritance is control. And when they lose it, they don't forget. They fear. Have you encountered emotional manipulation masked as affection? Have you ever stood your ground? Not with anger, but with calm intelligence? Tell your story in the comments below. Share this video with someone who's been told they're too calm, too cold, or too logical. Maybe they're not broken. Maybe they're evolved. Subscribe for more Machiavellian insights, masculine strategy, and emotional intelligence decoded through the lens of history's greatest minds. Stay sovereign, stay strategic, stay dangerous.